Obviously, the political landscape and system is beginning to take a different dimension, becoming people-driven and even more citizen-oriented. And on Tuesdays like this, the Honourable Member representing Bende Federal Constituency gets to inform, educate and interface with the good people of Bende and Abia State in general. Welcome to Ben Carlos' mandate here on Flow 94.9 FM, the Flow of God's own state. On Ben Carlos' mandate, we'll be having Representative Benjamin Okezie Kalu, member of the 9th Nigerian National Assembly, and of course he's currently the spokesperson of the House of Representatives and the Chairman House Committee, Media and Public Affairs. Today, surprise, surprise, he is live here in the studio. Good morning to you, Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu. It's my pleasure having you right here.
Thank you very much. Wisdom, is a pleasure to be here as well. And happy New Year to the people of Bende Federal Constituency once again. And happy New Year to the people of Abia and Nigeria in general. It promises to be a good year. Let's keep hope alive and renew our confidence in God that those things you were not able to achieve last year, that this year, moving courageously, you will achieve them. Don't be afraid. What you're afraid of, like my pastor usually says, will not happen.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much for being here. And of course, like you said, it has to be very positive. We have to be positive going into the new year. I'm not trying to poke nose into affairs, your personal life, but when we spoke the very last time, you mentioned that you will stay away from home at least to celebrate your 17th anniversary with your wife and your family. I mean, quite a huge walk, touring around the world and doing the work of representation and all that. May I ask, how did it go? It was a huge success.
Yeah, you see, when you become a public servant, none of any part of your life becomes personal again. So you're not prognosing. You're asking the right question, because a public servant, everything is made public. Yeah, I decided to do family time as a family man with 5 kids and a lovely wife. I decided to spend that moment I usually share with people with my own wife and my kids back in the 17th marriage anniversary to my wife in a quiet, lovely, personalized, private mode. And I'm sure that my wife enjoyed it and my kids enjoyed it as well. For me, that is what is most important to me, because when all this fame, this power, this money is gone, who stays is your family. So if you share public time, you also make time for your family. So that was what I did, and I felt refreshed. I felt energized, and I'm back to hit the streets again.
Possibly that could, like you mentioned, re-energize you, give you positive vibes, and possibly even more areas to explore in your ambitions going forward.
Definitely. My wife is my power bank, so when I go there, it's to recharge myself.
Interesting.
And to push forward. So yeah, we are ready to hit the streets.
Now, still staying with that very event, like you mentioned, you had to put them in a scale of preference and said, all right, this is the time for me to stay with my family and my wife precisely. And something happened, more like a knock-on effect. The town hall meeting you usually hold, where you get to interface, meet with your people, share their plights and understand possibly the next forward movement you can make just to better their lives, had to be put on hold because of that. And I'm curious to find out if that will really happen. I'm sure that you mentioned, okay, you have pushed it forward. So Abians and of course people from Bende Federal Constituency would want to be apprised with when it is going to happen.
Yeah, I agree with you that something have to give way for another one to take place. My family have always sacrificed Christmas period for the people of Bende, because I've always celebrated it down here in Bende. And this period, I decided to ensure that I spent it with my family in that way, those who are in Bende missed me. So that's a sacrifice from the part of my constituent. But the issue of celebrating the remembrance of my mom and my marriage anniversary, that has been taken care of. The manner I decided to do it this year. But of the town hall meeting is still going to hold. But when we busy with campaigns at the moment, it's likely going to be probably close. We had wanted to do it on the 14th of February, but it appears we are going to shift it again. 14th of January. But it appears we're going to shift it again towards next month or immediately after the elections, so that it will not be seen as political outing. But the benefits that goes with celebrating that town hall meeting, where we'll take care of people, the material for taking care of them are all intact. But what we have decided to do, because of the economic situation where most people are not able to travel long distances from, Ben, the federal constituency is huge, from the borders of Akwa Ibom State to the borders of Ebonyi State, and the transportation cost is a bit high now. So we are bearing that cost of taking some of those items down to their homes. So we have started little by little, and we're going to escalate it in the coming days. Most of those beneficiaries will sit at home, and we'll meet them there to hand over to them what we have put together for them. So it's going to be a win-win for everybody. So they save the money on transport, we come to know their homes and interact with them more with the gifts they would have gotten in Bende. With the town hall, we are ready with it. Our report is ready with 154 pages report. The soft copy is being circulated, but the hard copy will be handed over during the town hall meeting.
Interesting. You mentioned something very key as per your response. You mentioned the elections, and here on Flu 94.9 FM, we are counting down to that very election. So when I look at my screen, it's 45 days, 21 hours, 9 minutes, and 20 seconds away from the general elections, and trying to come down home to make it a Ben Kalu thing now. Tell us about your campaign. Has it hit top gear? Is it in full swing? What is the preparation? Has there been tremendous progress, if you've already commenced that very movement?
Definitely. I have a team that already started working even before I came down. While I was traveling in the job of the National Assembly, I was sent overseas to different continents. My team, they were busy working at home and visiting all the people they needed to visit, consulting and interacting to get a more buy-in to our aspiration. Now that I'm back, we have taken it to the next level. We may not be seen doing jamborees, although where it's needed, we will do that.
When you mention jamboree, what do you really mean?
I mean, gathering too many people in one location and blasting the speakers and all that. Our strategy this time might be a little bit different and people-oriented, where one-on-one will be most ideal in communicating what we have done, what we are planning to do if elected. So, yeah, we have started, and the team is charged. The campaign team was never shut down from 2018 till now. So there are people we know, and they've been, preaching the good news from 2018 till now, and they are back to the streets now and trying to take it to the next level. And I commend them for the work they are doing, even in my absence.
And now, there's something you've been saying over time, the fact that you will continue to do the work of legislature and representing your people aptly until when it's time, especially for this very first tenure. And it wouldn't be out of place to still ask, yes, you've mentioned the fact that there were areas you felt, okay, I could have done better here, but this is my first stint, I will do better next time. What are the core areas you look forward to doing better? Your people are listening. Maybe that could just be what would trigger them to say, we will give you our support. What are the areas you look forward to touching there if you eventually get back into the House of Representatives?
To be honest, all that we set out to do in our manifesto, we'll try to spread our impact across all of them. Some receive major impact, some receive middle approach to it, not as major as we had intended. So what we intend to do when we go back is those ones that receive major impact we sustain. Those ones that could classify as middle approach attention that was given to it, we'll upgrade it to the next level. My decision has always been to put the people at the center stage in all I do, and they determine how we represent them, because it's not my representation. I'm not representing myself, I'm representing the people. If your agenda is not in tune with the desire of the people, I always adjust my agenda to the people-oriented agenda, and that is what is going to drive us in this second journey that we hope to commence on.
Now let's talk about your legacy project, so to say, the Emengba Bridge, which is nearing completion. Reports suggest that it's been asphalted, and even people, your constituents, took that very route, made their journey seamless as they return to be with their people during the Yuletide, and possibly some will take that very route when they return to their various areas of sojourn. Now, have you gotten any form of feedback from them, possibly to express their gratitude and possibly their backing for your second bid?
Of course. The people of Umimenyimba are very grateful people. They are very appreciative, filled with gratitude for this major dream that has come true. When we started the project, many people thought that it was one of those political talks. That because they won't blame Mba people. They've had so many political talks from the high and mighty telling them that road was going to be done. Now, see, if you need a miracle to do the road, you really need political will to get the road done. You really need to understand it was the need of the people in your needs analysis, to be able to know that they need this, and it is going to trickle down to the way of life of the people, the economic life of the people, and stimulate the economy of that particular corridor. And it has always been my intention to have another access to Abia North, not just passing through Umahia. And I noticed that from the express we can hit Mba, and from Mba to Bende and other parts of Abia North. So it's a corridor that I've always been interested in, even from 2001, 2002, when I used my personal money to repair the bridge, when I was not even in power. That was how much I so much desired to fix that bridge. And now that the bridge is fixed, houses are going to spring up along that axis, petrol stations, hotels, markets, shops. The value of the land around that area is going to go up, and that is going to make help the economy of the area. The human traffic through that road is going to increase. The ripple effect is much. So I'm happy that they are celebrating it. I'm happy that they use it during this Christmas, and they've been coming to my house with several gifts. Even young people are printing posters for me. Young people are building, T-shirts and face caps, branding it to support me, and that is what democracy is all about, And I'm actually delighted. In fact, before yesterday, I had a visit from the former Chief Justice of Abia State, who is from the area, and he led a team of people who brought a lot of gifts to come and say thank you. I'll be back to Mpa tomorrow to see some of the stakeholders and engage with them to get their feedback on what they think about the projects that we're doing there, and to know if there's any way we could do anything better, and then to agree with them on how we're going to do the commissioning soon. I'm trying to bring a representative of Mr. President to come and commission the road in less than 1 month's time. Many never believed it, but here it is. It's been done by the government of ABC. The president is particularly committed to that particular bridge. Release all the fund, even when it was tough. Release all the fund to make sure that I met my target. And I'm so grateful to Mr. President. I'm so grateful to the Office of the Ecological Fund. I'm so grateful to the Secretary to the government of the Federation. So, and when the people owe them this gratitude to say thank you to APC for the good job that has been done for them. The value of that road now and the bridges you've put together. You remember there's another place, Akoli Menyi area, Amoji Menyi access. There's another little bridge they are building, and I'm rounding it up at the same time with about 2.2 kilometer road. If you value all this together, I was told by the presidency currently they will not be awarding that kind of project with anything less than 5 billion naira. And that was what we did not sell, we did not divert, we did not convert to our pocket. We brought it down for our people to work, and we supervise these contractors so critically to make sure that only the best was given to our people.
Interesting, and everybody would admit that that is what true leadership should be all about. Now, you mentioned something which has triggered a question from within. Coming down to the southeast, there's been a hike in terms of the fuel price, and for people out there, they said it's orchestrated by the current government of the All Progressives Congress, which we are a part of, and they feel it has increase the sufferings of the people down here. What's your reaction to that?
Well, we have enough petrol and gas in the country at the moment, and the issue is not availability. I think they are complaining about the logistics involved in conveying it from the dumping sites to the petrol stations. But the question that we need to ask ourselves, because you narrowed it to Southeast, is why is it more expensive in Southeast than it is in other parts of the country? I live in Abuja because I'm represented in Abuja. We buy petrol cheaper. My vehicles bought cheaper on their way back here. And once you enter into the Southeast, the price goes up. Why? Why are we punishing ourselves? Why is it that...
You feel it's done by people from within?
I think it's being manipulated, yes. I think it's being manipulated for profit. Every little opportunity, seasons like this, greed will make owners of petrol station, hike the price of petrol station. They don't consider the impact of it on the economy of the people. It's bad. The same petrol, I buy it cheaper in Lagos, I buy it cheaper in Abuja, I come to the east, I buy it twice their price. It ought not to be. And tomorrow we'll say we are better than the rest of the country, that we can govern ourselves. I tell you the truth, with the kind of mentality we have, unless we change our orientation, we will slaughter each other for profit. And it ought not to be. Let us open up our petrol station, reduce the price, and allow people have access to this basic commodity that will help us achieve more around there.
It is still Ben Carlos mandate here on Flow 94.9 FM, the Flow of Godson State. Wisdom Thomas, I've been speaking with Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu, who happened to be live here in the studio, and we've been chatting about quite a lot already. Now, one more thing before we go national. The Abia Debates program is in touching distance. That's a forum whereby candidates from across parties get to debate and talk about their manifesto and what they intend to do for their people, possibly differently or so. Are you going to be a part of the Abia debate? Would you come on board to be questioned so your constituents would listen to what you want to do differently if eventually you will emerge?
Benjamin Okezie Kalu is not afraid of debate. I debate every day on this radio station, every week on this radio station. I open up for people to ask me questions on any issue. I'm not afraid, I'm not hiding. And on the National Assembly platform, I'm not a sleeping member of the National Assembly. I debate every day. I also go out of the country, sent by the National Assembly to debate on behalf of the position of Nigeria on some international or global issues. So debating is not an issue, but the problem is it has to fit in properly into my own schedule for my campaign. If it fits in properly, why not? And if not, if it doesn't, then I'll waive it. People always, the last debate I had on this kind of issue in 2019, I didn't want to attend and they pushed me to attend.
But it's very necessary.
And when I attended, it turned out to be, a little bit hostile, which was not as professional as supposed to be. So if you put yourselves together and you have professional people and decent individuals who want to debate on topical issues and not personal attacks, we will see what we'll do about that. I'm not afraid of debate. We can always talk to our people on issues.
Thank you for staying with us. It is still Flu 94.9 FM, the Flu of Godson State. Ben Kalu's mandate is what is happening at this very moment. Thank you for joining us. My name is Wisdom Thomas, and I've been speaking with Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu, member representing Bende Federal Constituency at the 9th Nigerian National Assembly, is live here in the studio. And you could equally go to Facebook, facebook.com/Flu949, and you would have a looking in of what is happening right here in the studio. Thank you for staying here, sir. Can we continue?
Thank you very much. I'm still here, and yes, we can continue.
All right, let's go national now. Having touched on some issues from within our ranks here in Abia State, the CBN policy now, reports suggest that about 20 banks has begun the implementation of that very withdrawal policy, the cashless economy, which we know, of course, raised a lot of dust when it was announced by the governor of the CBN, Emefiele. Now, let me get your own reaction. And on the other hand, are you not worried that some people in Bende, your constituents, may find it difficult to access cash for their different businesses? Of course, it's a business hub, agricultural base, and all that.
Definitely. I think I've made my position clear, which is also the position of the House on some of the issues around this policy in our previous engagement with regards to money laundering.
Perhaps just to know if you've changed your mind, or maybe the House of Reps as well.
And also the CBN Act, Section 8, Subsection 4, that we had mentioned that for policies like this, the Parliament needed to be engaged periodically for briefing so that we have a buy-in and what is being done by this Central Bank of Nigeria. We invited them to have an engagement. The report for such engagement will be presented on when we reconvene, which is going to be around the 17th or so. We'll look into the report of that engagement, and then we'll have a word to give to Nigerians. Every policy has the pros and the cons. All we are fighting for is to ensure that the pros were more than the cons. Insecurity will also be quietened by this policy, but on the other side, there's a little bit of hardship that people are going to feel if it is not well structured. So we'll look at all those based on the report, and I would like to speak on this next week, Tuesday, after we must have engaged on Wednesday or the upper Tuesday, because on Tuesday we'll be meeting to look at it, and then I have more facts to give to Nigerians on that.
All right, let's stay with national now and talk about the issue between the House of Representatives and, of course, Asuu. You seem to have defended the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Femi Bajabiamila, over the claim by the Asuu president that he deceived the Asuu body to call off the strike and all that. What could have informed your decision to back him on this one?
I'm not just backing the Speaker, I'm backing the House. The Speaker is not acting on the frolic of his own. It's representing an institution. And luckily enough, I was in the rooms most of the days when the conversations took place. I was part of the conversation. And there was never a time the commitments that were ascribed to Mr. Speaker came from Mr. Speaker. There were 4 proposals that Asuu brought to the table on their demands, what they think should be done by government. One of it was that the welfare of the lecturers should be improved, and we agreed with them. Not only agreeing on the pages of the resolution from the negotiation, we took it to the point of appropriation and made it part of the Appropriation Act of 2022 by increasing their welfare package to 170 billion. If you go to the pages of the budget, you'll see it there, which is comparatively higher than what has been done before now. The second issue they brought to the table was the issue of the operations and the infrastructures of the Nigerian federal universities, in that they needed to be taken good care of and needed more fund. We also agreed with them. Because of that agreement, we went from the resolution paper to appropriating it into the Appropriation Act. And if you go to the pages of the budget at the moment, you will see the sum of 300 billion naira appropriated for the Nigerian universities, which is a great step forward. So a total of about 470 billion came out of that negotiation for Asuu. And the third point was for what they describe as UTAS to be a better system to IPPIS, the accounting, the payroll system. There was a loggerhead between the Office of the Accountant General and Labour as well as Asuu on whether to use UTAS developed by the Nigerian universities and the lecturers as against the IPPIS that is already adopted as the one used as a payroll system by the federal government for all the sectors of the economy. Now, the argument of the Asuu was that there are gaps in IPPIS that needed to be filled by the new development, with the UTAS. While the argument of the Office of the Accountant General was that if I pay the piper, I dictate the tune, and I decide how I pay the piper as well. So you can't tell us how we'll pay you. But we took a middle-some approach to it by using legislative intervention, focusing on legislative diplomacy that is channeled towards creating a win-win solution for both parties. And, a little bit of the IPPIS and a little bit of the UTAS. So we set up a committee that is on the leadership of Representative Suleiman, who is the chairman, House Committee on Tertiary Institution, and asked him to interface with all the stakeholders with regards to these issues that we needed to resolve. So the stakeholders include the Office of the Accountant General, as well as Asuu, to interface on how to adopt UTAS into IPPS, and that has been done. So this is 3 proposals and acceptance by the Parliament over 4. The last one was that federal government should pay Asuu for the days they did not work. That was the last one.
I was coming to that very point.
And that makes it the 4th. And if you come to a negotiation table and you came with 4 positions and you are leaving with 3 positions to your favor, you've done considerably well. And to think otherwise, that it was an awful negotiation like it's being painted by the president of Asuu, whom I respect so much, it's actually not fair to the parliament. Because there was never a time Mr. Speaker said, we are going to pay you. Because the Trade Dispute Act is very clear on the position of the law, that if you don't work, you are not paid. And what we did was we said, granted that this is the position of the law, but not conceding that we cannot, in face of challenging situation and unique situation, approach Mr. President to grant a waiver to the provision of that law, to enable the federal government pay some money to Asuu. We approached Mr. President, and Mr. President said, I will look into it. Mr. President, probably after consulting with his own experts, said, no, we can't do it. And I think one of his reasons was, we don't want to set up a wrong precedent that will encourage abstaining from work and asking for money. which will be immoral. So we cannot untwist the president's hand, who has granted 3 out of the 4, propositions laid before him. So to go back to the press to claim that Mr. Speaker was fraudulent or misrepresented or was deceitful in his presentation that led to the cancellation of the strike was totally unfair. And I think that the parliament deserves an apology from the leadership of Asuu on this.
Okay, I feel the Asuu leadership and, of course, the teaching staff of our institution are feeling hard done by that very decision, even though it seems as though, okay, because it didn't work, you do not get anything. But the fact that they were fighting for perhaps their right, maybe the federal government could shift their grounds. But let's talk about the collection of PVC. 29 days into the collection of the PVC, looking by the numbers, and like I mentioned earlier on, 45 days to the very first bout of the elections, and I want to find out if there were modalities you put in place. First and foremost, if you're impressed with what INEC has done in terms of the manner to which the electorate can access their PVCs, and then for your people, have you bent a little lower to find out if they are responding and getting their PVCs? Because obviously that's going to be their ticket of saying you have to go back. Without that, nothing happens.
Beautiful question, Wisdom, I must say, beautiful question. I am happy with INEC.
Okay.
I'm very happy with INEC because they are highly focused. I say this without mentioning word. There was nothing INEC told us in the parliament that they were set out to do. They have not done. The leadership of INEC, the chairman, the secretary of the committee, the commissioners are working very hard to make sure that the interpretation of the new Electoral Act, was seen to be visible in the implementation strategies they've adopted across the nation, and I'm so proud of them. It's not easy to bring in a new law and develop mechanisms and strategies and instruments to achieve the interpretation of such law. And maybe the next leadership will find it easy because the foundation is being laid by this current leadership of INEC in interpreting this Electoral Act in a way that it will achieve the desired and the purposive, intention of the legislators when they presented that law. So far, so good. As a member of the parliament that made this law, I am very happy with what they're doing. And the time they published the voters register, as was in line with the law, and the time they said they're going to start distributing in line with the law, and my people are responding well. Then the people are queuing and receiving their PVCs. I'm impressed so far, but I want to raise the call. If you have not gotten your own, don't postpone. Go and grab it, because like you said, that's your ticket. It's one thing to say, I love what Benjamin is doing. Oh, I like what he has brought to Bende. But if you don't pick up your PVC, you will not be able to return me there. And we'll be back to in the dark days of converting contracts and projects into personal pocket. We'll be back to dark days where people don't see their representative. There is no accessibility to their representative. It's like the representative is a god. I am no god. I've demystified that I'm approachable, I'm accessible. You can reach me on radio. I can exchange greetings with you on Facebook. I can exchange greetings with you on WhatsApp platforms. You can come to my house because I'm your servant leader. And that is what your PVC did last time. Make it do better than that this time. Like I promised before, I won't change. Invest your PVC again this period towards electing me back to that office, and I won't change, I promise you. I would do better than what we have done before. I have known the route now. If I achieve what I achieve, as a first timer, the records are there. The highest with bills in the entire Southeast, in the entire Abia state, as the highest among all the new members of the parliament, as the number 4 in the whole country. It means that I know what I'm doing. I'm the spokesperson of the House of Representatives as a first timer. A jinx that have been broken. So if I achieve all this within the first tenure, just imagine what you and I will be able to achieve when we go back there. More roads in Bende will be created. More farm roads will be open that leads to the market between the farm and the market. More schools will be built, more health centers. more of your children will get jobs, because we are writing letters appealing for jobs for our children day in, day out. We don't charge money. We don't tell you to come tomorrow. We'll do it right there and then if you meet us. We are ever ready to serve you. And I'm telling all people of Bende, it is a time to invest your PVC. Don't waste it. This is the man that you need to make sure that your presence in Abuja is felt. And I promise we will keep making sure that Bende is on the map, global map, not just national map. We've done it before, we'll do it better again.
Oh yeah, that's Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu, member representing Bende Federal Constituency at the 9th Nigerian National Assembly. Like I told you from the very get-go, fortunately today is live here in the studios and very ready. How eager are you to take the calls of your people now? Because the phone lines has been buzzing, frankly speaking.
I love my people. I love hearing from my people.
So you're ready now?
I'm telling you.
Should I open up the floodgate?
Irrespective of the political party affiliation, I love hearing my people. Open it up. Let's interact with them.
Oh yeah, he has given me the key. I would open it right away. Call us 0808-1826-949 or 0811-605-2949. You prefer message, that's okay. Send it to 0906-510828, man. Or you're a social media savvy freak, it's okay. Go to facebook.com/Flow949FM. Drop your comment and equally see what's happening right here in the studio. Let's take our calls right away. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you join the conversation. Kindly tell us your name and location.
Thank you very much. You people are doing well. You're slow. I'm Steve, calling from Umwai.
You're welcome, Steve.
Thank you. I want to ask the Honorable Commissioner, Honorable Representative of Bende constituency. I want to ask him some questions.
Okay.
Now,
can you kindly turn down the volume on your radio set? A little bit of interference here.
Okay, I've done it.
Great.
I've done it. I need to ask you, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, representing Federal Constituency of Bende. I want to ask a question. In the year 2019, you were elected as a Bende Central Constituency representative. Nobody knows you. But this time around, we won the election. You have been doing everything. You are more popular than your peers who have been going there for donkey years. So I want to ask, what is the magic? Because your name has been ringing bell. I know that I am not in your own constituency, but I'm from Umuahia. So everybody knows you, and your name has been ringing bell everywhere. And you have been doing much work in volume to see that you go back there again. What is the magic? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Maybe he will cut some soup for others, the magic. Put the calls back in 08081826-949. Phone line still buzzing. Morning to you. Good to have you.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
May we meet you?
Good morning, Honorable Benjamin Kalu.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
I am Dr. Kwendadia. My name is, I am calling from Bos, the home South Local Government. Honorable, I am listening to your program every time you are making your speech. You have tried in terms of development in Bende. You have tried to give massive support. I like the way you are doing things. You are not like others. The member represent Ishalam but not our South. The same thing are doing on the Darlington work culture. Good bless people, two of you. You go back, represent your people in the good health and the prosperity. Let God bless you. Let Darlington work culture.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your take this morning. More of the calls. Morning.
Hello, Wisdom, good morning.
Good to have you join us. May we meet you? Ebialao.
Mama, yeah. Mama.
Any one of them, Mama.
Mama, yeah.
I'm a make a God you food. You may run in a lamp, but you may run in a good business in one. This is to be the only have room on her. Macatapilla Hammer, had a work running. And the Tahala campaign had a food and war on her lap. Majama making of Ali and the Pachinate that was doing an album. You take us up them of your bones on the Taragani, where you did them school, or Kona Tele, everyone at his school, everyone on his center. Or what the politician men and you did him around. You make it that got you. You make it down on you. You didn't find me the Mamukuma one, Mao, I don't want to lodge a mouth, I don't know lodge you don't like them.
Amen. Thank you very much for your own contribution on the program this morning. We are still waiting for your calls. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello. Do call back 080818269949 or 0811605249. Good morning. Can you speak up? Network. Morning.
Hello.
Good to have you join us. Name and location.
I'm calling from Omar.
You're welcome, Mr. Okafo.
Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, sir.
I've always admired you. And I've always said that there are people who can never fair election as long as good governance and credible leadership is concerned. You have done well. My wish for you is that you will bring more dividends of democracy to the people of Bende, the entire Abia State, because I know the Bende people is done for the entire Abia. I still wish other politicians, they should emulate good work and they should emulate good governance. That is the only thing the people yearn for. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okafo. More of the calls before I look at the SMS line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead, tell us your name and location, and turn down the volume on your radio, please.
It's okay, sir. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead.
Good morning, Kalu. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
I am Pastor Fabicano, Senator. Representing the good people that you see on Hatia, committee on Hatia. I'm telling you now.
We're still getting interference. I do not want to cut you off. I don't. It's not.
Is it okay?
It's not, but go ahead.
So, what I want to say, I must thank Honorable Benjamin Kalu for what he has been doing in that. In fact, I feel that all this while we have not had it like this before Benjamin Kalu came on board. And my prayer for him is that he will be re-elected and God will touch the people's heart to vote him in. But I have one question for him. The question I have for him is that in his party there is so much crisis in APC. As of today, we don't know who is the governorship candidate. They are headed to the Supreme Court. I'm not only that. I also have, as a lawyer, that he is no longer in good terms with Senator Joseph Kalu. Can he explain more light on this? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that's going to be how much we can take from the phone line so we can equally look at those in our SMS line and, of course, on Facebook. This one says, good morning, Wisdom Thomas and Honorable Benjamin Ekweme Carlo. They've added a name. He says, my name is Moses from Omahia. We are still with you because you have the best. You are the best for Ndibende. I have my PVC. From Samuel Agaji, it says, I have to be direct here, Honorable. You do not need to campaign for a second term. Your work is campaigning for you. From Ambassador Dennis Egu, he says, Bende have never had it this well, outspoken, articulated, and bringing his people in the know. Right on, sir. We are with you. From Chimobi, Onwama says, assisting from Ohohoma here, to be very frank, Benjamin Okezekal is indeed the people's choice. I love him a lot. He has done marvelously well in his political career. He will come out victorious in the upcoming general election. God is your strength. Sir, keep on doing what you know how to do. From Jacob Igwe Emmanuel, he says he's watching from Umudike. Representative Benjamin Okeze Kalu is a gift to the people of Bende. What he has done within 3 years, okay, that has since disappeared. So let's get your reactions because time is at premium now and we need to leave the studio.
All right, thank you very much. First of all, I want to thank all the listeners who find it interesting to tune into these all-engaging platform on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for other radio stations to be able to interact with the member of parliament. Like the governor of Abia State used to say, I am not only representing Bende Federal Constituency, I'm representing Abia State. And like I always introduce myself, I represent the people of Nigeria, starting from Bende Federal Constituency, and I'm from Abia State. When you tune in, it means that you love what is happening in democracy and you are a disciple of democracy. Thank you, Steve from Umahia. And you asked me, what is the magic? There's no magic. I don't believe in magic. I believe in the grace of God. The secret, like you said, how do we, what is the secret? The secret is putting the people first. In your governance, if you are putting the people first, you'll be transparent, you'll be accountable, and you'll be honest. And people see it. No matter how others try to criticize you, the truth will always stand taller than lies. And Mvosi, friend of mine from Ngwa, who called me for good wishes, God bless you for seeing good things and speaking it up. May God bless you also. Damn, that was quite emotional. Email out all your prayers. Praying akwara ndị ọzọ na Bende n'anya. Chineke yiri ya aka ihe anyị mere ndị mkpa anyị emekwara ndị ọzọ mụnụ tinyere m ma m laghachi ọzọ ọ ga-eruche onye ọbụla aka n'aha Jesus. Okafo from Umuahia, thank you for mentioning that good governance and credible election is what will help to take me back there. And if we believe in good governance, if we are seeking for it, this is an opportunity to prove it, that you have seen one person that exhibited those elements of good governance and credibility in governance and accountability in governance. As a servant leader, let's put him back. Kalu from Ohafia, thank you for all your prayers. And you mentioned about crisis in APC. Yes, not crisis in APC, but there is a litigation on who is our governorship candidate. The INEC has listed High Chief Emenike as the candidate of the party. That is the person we are working with at the moment, while our brother Uchechukwoga has gone to court, Supreme Court, to challenge that. At the end of the day, whoever becomes the candidate of the party is who we will work for to the end. Then you raise another issue, whether there is still love between me and Senator Jikal. Of course, nothing has changed at all. Forget about what you read from the newspapers or the soft journalists who are not who are looking for their stomach. We are working together as a team, trying to develop the Abia North axis of the state. Nothing has changed. Moses from Umahia, thank you very much for calling in and putting in some of those lovely words. God will bless all of you. If you haven't gotten your PVC, please go grab it. If you love Benjamin, go grab it. And when you go to vote, remember Aziza. The broom is where I belong to. It's not about the colors of the party or the symbol of the party. It's about the individual that is able to bring down the dividends of democracy. APC has proven the capacity to do that. I have the credibility, the courage, the capacity, the competence to be able to deliver your expectation from a representative. I offer myself once again to you, and I beg you, please join to send me back to Abuja, because I have not finished yet. I still have a lot of work to do for Bende people. God bless you. I hope to see you next week, Tuesday.
Would that one be live again?
I'm not sure. I'll let you know as the days progress.
All right, this is where we will call it time on Ben Carlos Mandate. It's been a pleasure having you right here in the studio, representing the good people of Bende Federal Constituency. I'm talking about Honorable Benjamin Okeze Kalu. Thank you very much for coming this morning.
Thank you, Wisdom, for doing a great job. Your channel have been doing a very good job. The station, and the way you embrace democracy gladdens my heart. You know, this is the only way we can advance the ethos of democracy, by pushing out the right narratives out there. Give other people the same platform that you have given to me. together we can build a democracy that we'll be proud of when we join with other Committee of Nations. Thank you very much.
All the best to your ambitions. Wisdom Thomas, and of course this will make a return, same time, same station next week. But until then, ensure you have a lovely Tuesday, and God bless you. Bye-bye for now.